YouTube is the greatest place on earth because you can find a video about anything you can ever imagine. YouTube is the worst place on earth because you can find a video about anything you can imagine. Some of those videos are insightful and could literally change your life. Some of those videos are gross, some of them are creepy, some of them are terrifying, some of them are just mind-numbingly stupid, and you should not watch them. Seriously. YouTube is the greatest place on earth because you can meet people from all around the world. I have literally met people who I first connected with through my comment section on YouTube. YouTube is the worst place on earth because some of those people you shouldn't be connecting with. I mean, I've dealt with people who have given me personal threats of violence just over the videos I make, and videos that weren't even that controversial or anything like that. So I think some YouTubers who go into controversial stuff have it a lot worse than I do. And the truth is, you're putting yourself out there, which means that there's going to be good, but there's also going to be bad, and you need to deal with both. YouTube is the greatest place on earth because I can say words like shit, damn, fuck, and some people might not like it, but no one can decide if this video goes up except for me. There's a direct access to the internet. There's no man or woman or company or network in between. It's just direct, and that's powerful. YouTube is the worst place on earth because they still have some control over what reaches who. They can still decide to limit the reach of certain videos based on words you might have used or topics you might have talked about. In fact, just by using the word shit, damn, fuck, I have probably reduced my income on this video by 80 to 90% because YouTube will significantly reduce the advertisements played on this video, which means that that silly joke cost me a lot of money. Yeah, I should probably edit that one out. Speaking of which, YouTube is the greatest place on earth because you can edit things out. You can take out moments where you say like, or if you have something funny in your teeth, you can take that out. YouTube is the worst place on earth because sometimes you don't want things edited. Sometimes people take someone's speech or someone's opinion or someone's words out of context, and through editing they can trick you into thinking someone meant to say something they didn't actually want to say. YouTube is the greatest place on earth because it's made me more confident as a human being. Just by speaking to this camera and knowing that my thoughts or my views or my videos could reach some other people and they could like that, that's made me more confident about my own creative expression and just who I am as a human being. YouTube is the worst place on earth because some people don't like who you are as a human being, and they'll make fun of you for your views or your opinions or any little mistake you make, or sometimes, my teeth are kind of messed up, so sometimes people say I have vampire teeth, or they pick on some little insecurity you might have. And the thing is, I'm a white male, so I don't even have it nearly as bad as some people on this platform. Like some of the things that minorities or women get on YouTube, the comments they get are just over the top cruel and really prevent this platform from being accessible to everyone. Like if you've ever wondered why most YouTubers are white, this is just my theory, but I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that YouTube comments are just so brutally racist sometimes. YouTube is the greatest place on earth because it can teach you how to fix things around your home. Like I had a broken, the lock on my door, the key would go in, but it would get stuck. It just kept getting stuck. And then YouTube taught me that I could grind down a pencil and I could take that lead and I could somehow I don't even remember how I did it, but YouTube remembers, and YouTube would tell you that you can somehow get it in the keyhole and then the key will begin to slide very smoothly again. YouTube is the worst place on earth because for every instructional video like that, which can save your life, there are 100 others which could be giving you I don't know, man, it could be giving you advice that burns your house down or breaks your computer or something because some 15-year-old kid just decided to tell you something that actually wasn't the right way to do it at all. So, yeah. I mean, it's great when the people making the videos actually know what they're talking about. Definitely check that dislike to like ratio on repairing videos. That can help you a lot. YouTube is the greatest place on earth because it's a job that I can literally do in my sweatpants. YouTube is the worst place on earth because it's a job that I can literally do in my sweatpants. I mean, sometimes I miss the having an office or having a normal kind of routine. Though I guess now everyone's quarantined, so everyone's kind of feeling what it's like to be a YouTuber. But as you can probably see, there's pros and cons to being home all the time. And speaking of YouTube as a job, YouTube is the greatest place on earth because when I meet a 12-year-old, they tell me being a YouTuber is their dream job and it's the coolest thing ever. I don't actually meet that many 12-year-olds. I don't meet anyone anymore. I'm just at home all the time. YouTube is the worst place on earth because when I try to explain to my aunt or uncle that I actually make videos and somehow earn money from that, they have no idea what I'm talking about. YouTube is the greatest place on earth because the next video is always a surprise and there's always something waiting for you just around the corner. YouTube is the worst place on earth because sometimes those surprises drag you into an endless loop of clicking on videos and the next thing you know it's 3 a.m. and you don't know where the day went and you are hating everything about existence. YouTube is the greatest place on earth because despite everything I've said about trolls and hateful people, I genuinely think the comment section is awesome and I have some of the biggest laughs of my day just by reading top comments, which are often hilarious or just insightful or, yeah, I just think there's a lot of great comments on YouTube. YouTube is the worst place on earth because it actually does very little to moderate the comments, which on the one hand allows for the insightful and funny and whatever comments, but on the other hand, it allows for super obvious trolls and people who are just putting Bitcoin scams and stuff like that in the comment section, which could so easily be removed. I don't know why YouTube isn't working on that. I guess they're too busy doing other stuff I don't know, YouTube Shorts. Stop trying to be TikTok, YouTube. You're not TikTok. YouTube is the greatest place on earth because at the bottom of the video, if someone is talking too slow, you can change it to 1.5 speed or 2x speed or whatever speed you want it to be at. YouTube is the worst place on earth because after a while, that 2x speed kind of ruins real life for you. If I were a student right now, I don't know how I would deal with my professor's lectures because I'd want to 2x speed and speed up the real life speakers and everything would just be too slow or too fast. You can only do that on YouTube, so it kind of ruins real life. YouTube is the greatest place on earth because any information about reviews, if you want to buy a new camera and you want to see reviews about it, honestly, the best place to go is YouTube. You can find anything. I mean, any camera I've ever bought comes from YouTube reviews that I watched first. YouTube is the worst place on earth because a lot of those reviews actually kind of trick you into buying things you don't need. And you get in this endless loop of watching review videos, and after about 5 or 6, you're like, well, I really do need this flippy screen to make my videos. But actually now I don't even use this big camera anymore. I use a much smaller camera and it works just fine. So yeah, does anyone in Montreal need to buy a camera? Because yeah. YouTube is the greatest place on earth because you can skip ahead to the parts of the video you want to see. Maybe some people skipped ahead to this part because they only wanted to see the end. Hey guys. YouTube is the worst place on earth because as a creator, it's really hard to end videos. You always be like, okay, and see you next time. And don't forget to click the button and hit the like and subscribe and you kind of feel like a total tool when you're saying those things every single video, but according to YouTube analytics, this actually helps. People learn, when people hear that, they actually click, which kind of cheapens the whole profession. Because imagine if you're watching a great movie and then at the last 10 seconds, they're like, don't forget to review us on Rotten Tomatoes. You'd be like, bro, Martin Scorsese, you're better than that, come on. But YouTubers, we gotta kind of play the game, I guess. And yeah, that's it. I mean, there's more I could talk about, but YouTube tells you that you shouldn't have super long videos unless you're really interesting, which is, I guess, kind of a good thing and kind of a bad thing. But yeah, I told you I don't know how to end videos.